First, you have to invest in yourself. When you think about investments, you probably think about things like stocks, crypto, real estate. Well, in this video, I'm not gonna talk about any of these things. You see, you can also invest in yourself. And for me, I think that has the highest return on investment than any asset you can possibly buy. Let me explain. How do you know what stocks to buy? How do you know how to make a good decision in life? How do you know which real estate to buy? In order to know all of these things, you actually have to invest time and energy learning all of these things. This, of course, can be done in many shapes and forms, like reading books, buying online courses, listening to audiobooks, finding a mentor, watching YouTube videos, which of course is my preferred way of learning about everything. The point is, first you have to invest in yourself, and that can be done through either spending more time learning about something, experiencing things, being with a mentor, any sort of thing like that, or buying things like an online course, a book, a camera to record a video, or something similar. And you need all of these things in order to make that best possible decision later on. And it doesn't matter what the decision is. It can be about deciding to buy a particular stock at a time, or it can be about a life-changing decision like leaving your corporate job to pursue a freelancing career. And for me personally, I made 3 key investments. Well, at the time I didn't know they were investments, so-called. I just did things. But now looking back, there are 3 key areas that actually made me who I am today. So first one is actually starting an e-commerce store and failing at it miserably. When I started my first year of, actually even before that, in the last year of my high school, I was already pumped on doing something, starting a business, starting a startup, building an app, doing something. In the last 2 years of high school, I built up kind of enough knowledge about business and all of that stuff. I've seen a lot of startups growing, and it felt like I wanted to be part of that. So I already kind of made sort of plans, you can call it, of when I start university, I'll have so much free time and I can do whatever. I can start a business, I can start building an app, a website. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted to basically build a business. And then of course I get to uni, I start going to lectures and all of that stuff. And then I find out that it's actually very difficult to do stuff. At the time I had like very big ideas, like building a worldwide app that everybody uses, or the next social media or something like that. But I was writing things down on a whiteboard, I was creating ideas. I wasn't actually doing anything besides just fantasizing about ideas. And then half a year passed, 6 months passed since I kind of started this process, and I was a bit fed up with me not actually taking any action. I was a bit tired. I was like, I'm learning, reading books, doing stuff, but nothing is happening. Yes, because I'm not actually taking any actions besides just jotting down ideas. And so I decided to start an e-commerce store. Me and my friend kind of got together and said, hey, let's spend some money, let's do something. We learned about doing that from like other like seminars and stuff like that. Let's try to replicate that. At the time we spent about, I think about 100, it was basically kind of a mix between dropshipping store and things that we actually own. So we bought, I think about $100 worth of products, and we spent another like $200 on ads. And that was like a span of like 5 months or something like that. At the time, this is actually a lot of money for a first-time student who needs to eat, sleep and stuff like that. Just spending $100 on buying random products to eventually sell them was really risky and definitely a lot of money. I mean, I already teased you that a bit, but yes, we failed miserably. I think we made 1 or 2 sales in the end. We got nothing really out of it. But now looking back, I can connect the dots very easily and see that that decision of starting an e-commerce store actually put me on a path to go into online businesses, to start my freelancing career and kind of become an entrepreneur, solopreneur, whatever you call it these days, but basically building my own skills to be able to earn online. And who knows, if I wouldn't have started that e-commerce store, I might not have got into any of that stuff and just finished uni and maybe went to have a completely different life. And I can directly link that e-commerce decision because literally right after we closed down that e-commerce store, we got an opportunity to work on something else through a friend of a friend, basically. And that ties in directly to the whole freelancing career, which I'm actually still doing up to this day. So that decision made me, if we want to talk numbers, like definitely over $100,000 in all of those years, and maybe even more sort of indirectly. So as you can see, investing in yourself by doing stuff, taking action, when you don't actually know where it's gonna take you, can have a huge impact on my life. I think this is a perfect example of a butterfly effect, of how one small decision basically changed the course of my life. Okay, I know it does sound a bit cringy saying changed my life or whatever, you know, that sentence does sound big, but I mean, I can't put it any other way because I don't think I would be here today without doing that. So yeah, this decision actually did make an impact. Second biggest thing that I did was actually buy free stocks worth $300. And I know what you're thinking. At the beginning of the video, I said I'm not gonna talk about stocks and anything like that. And I promise this is not what you think, because the stocks themselves didn't make me a millionaire or didn't earn me thousands of dollars. This is not about that. Actually, it doesn't even matter what kind of stocks I bought. The whole reason is that I was kind of learning about investing, kind of hearing about that, mainly actually from YouTube, and trying to learn a bit more. I got kind of curious. What is investing? What is all that stuff? What are stocks and stuff like that? A simple action of investing these $300 in these 3 different stocks allowed me to actually learn more about investing because I was invested. I mean, you see what I mean? I've seen the charts moving. I've actually executed the trade. I've used the Revolut platform. I'm the kind of person who learns a lot by doing instead of just learning the theory behind it. So when I was seeing that chart go up and down, I was more keen on actually learning about different words that I haven't heard about and different investing strategies. And that all is because I decided on a random day just buy free stocks. So again, you see what I'm talking about? A simple decision which makes a huge impact later on. And with this one, it's actually, we can calculate very precisely of how impactful it was, because in 2019 I had $0 invested in stocks or anywhere else, but right now, just a couple of years later, I built a portfolio worth over $10,000. Yes, a simple action of just buying a couple of stocks eventually led me to diversify into crypto, into ETFs, into funds, into pension funds, stocks, and all of that stuff. And that grew to be over $10,000. But numbers alone are not the point here. The point is that I tried something, invested in myself first by learning kind of the basic bare bones of stocks and how the stock market works, and then actually trying things out. At the time, I didn't know that I would be so interested in investing or stocks or actually be able to build such a portfolio. If you said to me that I was gonna have over $10,000 worth of the portfolio, I would flip out 2 years ago. The key point here is to invest in experiences that at the time may seem pointless. Set aside a small budget and try things out. You never know when you're gonna stumble on something that actually becomes a very big part of your life later on. And the last key investment that I personally made is investing in YouTube. So this is still an ongoing thing because I kind of haven't made it yet from YouTube, from the goal that I originally set. However, in terms of investment, I've actually invested the most in terms of money and time into YouTube. I mean, the gear and the courses alone were worth over $3,500 over the course of the last few years. I bought a course called Full-Time Filmmaker to actually learn about cameras, audio, microphones, lighting, all of that stuff. That cost about $800. Then we have camera and gear, which was about $1,200. And then most recently, I joined PTYA, which is Ali Abdul's course on how to be a better YouTuber just last year. And I cannot even count the number of hours I spent recording videos, writing scripts, filming, editing, publishing. That has to add to way too much. And considering that this channel only got monetized last year in March and only made just above $1,000, the hourly rate combining all of the investments is definitely not worth it. If I would look at this purely from an investment standpoint, obviously it's not worth to continue. I mean, look at how much I'm earning and what is the return I'm getting. But as I mentioned previously, sometimes you gotta do something that doesn't make sense at the time, but can probably have a huge return on investment. And YouTube, I see YouTube as the highest ROI thing I can possibly do with my time and money at this point. And I'm not giving up on something that I love, watch, and enjoy making. So don't be afraid of doing things that don't have an immediate return, especially if you really believe in the thing you're doing. But not all things I did were successful. I definitely made quite a lot of mistakes along the way. Check out this video where I talk about 7 different ways I tried to make money online and basically failed. But that's it from me. Ciao!